Hello everyone and welcome. It has been a while since I've gone live in any capacity, but I'm feeling called to come here today and to share with all of you about my upcoming experience walking with awareness. And I will admit that I have not mastered the internal and external communication dance as it relates to marketing and sharing with all of the people. If you're not inside of all of my communities or in one of my communities in some way, shape, or form, you might not have as many opportunities to know what's going on. So I'm doing my absolute best to correct that, to be better about that, because I know that everyone who's already enrolled in my spaces, they are receiving, they are so appreciative, but I also know that there are more people that could really benefit from receiving what I'm creating, what I'm doing, the spaces that I'm holding. And I think part of how I can make this a little bit easier for myself is when there are general messages that I would share internally that are also relevant to the greater community. I'm just going to share it with the greater community. So this is for those of you who are already planning on doing Walking with Awareness. And then this is also for those of you who are thinking about joining us. If you want to get some context, I'm going to go into greater detail in this video. I'm going to do my absolute best to keep this succinct as possible, but I am not necessarily a short and to the point type of person. I'm definitely more of like a long-winded person. And if you are to engage with me, if you are to receive from me, that's something that I think is important for you to just have context of and have awareness of. So we're going to do our absolute best to get through this as quickly as we possibly can. And thank you for being here with me today. If you're here, you're watching this, it's because you're either interested in doing Walking with Awareness or you're already planning on doing it. And this practice of simply going on a daily walk, like, I know it sounds so simple to the point where it's like, are we really having to create a experience around this? But I think it can be really helpful for those of you who want to create a habit like this to actually have some accountability and have some community in the beginning stages of it. Like any new routine, we come up against a lot of resistance at the very beginning. So if there were more people who were walking that journey with us, or we knew that there was a space for us to kind of just share like the difficulties that we're going through or the insights that we are gleaning from kind of showing up and being consistent, it makes it a lot easier to be consistent. And, I am so clear at this point, after I've been in this entrepreneurial journey now. I've been doing this for a very long time, like 11 years properly, 11 plus years, but like fully 100% entrepreneur. I left my corporate job when was that? I left my corporate job in 2021, August of 2021, I believe. So it's been a good chunk of time since I've stepped foot in any sort of matrix environment, if you will. But I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I've always knew that this was going to be something that I ended up doing, that I wasn't necessarily built to work for somebody else. I'm here to learn how to lead myself, and then in turn show other people how to lead themselves. But entrepreneurship is no joke, y'all. It's no joke. I want to be so, kind and soft and open and realistic, but at the same, this is me being kind and soft and realistic about it. It's absolutely no joke. And if you don't have any sense of discipline, no sense of consistency, no sense of devotion, no connection to the long-term vision, you will get eaten up and spit out by entrepreneurship. So my whole idea here in bringing you onto this journey of bringing a daily steps practice in is your transformation starts with the body. Your transformation starts with the body. Ooh, I resisted that one for a really long time. I'm going to be super, super honest with you. But it's the truth. It's the truth. If you want to transform your life, you also need to transform your body alongside of that. The body that you're existing in right now is a product of the habits that you live in. So if you want to change your life, you have to change your habits, and that will in turn, it will change your body. It will change your relationship to your body even. And your body is truly your best tool in guiding yourself in entrepreneurship. A lot of people talk about, the body is a compass, but if it's not clear, we haven't done the work that we need to do to deal with our emotions, to kind of just give ourselves space and time to work things out, to connect with ourselves, to ask ourselves the questions that we need to ask ourselves. This is why people get in this, I want to do it, but I keep hitting up against this thing and I just can't do it. It's in the body. Okay. So the bigger picture of what I'm doing here is I'm supporting people, individuals, in bringing their business forward and strengthening the foundations of their business. And this is relevant at all levels of business. So I have private memberships, but I also offer one-to-one consultation with other businesses. I also have agency services that I offer to other businesses, and that's on a business-to-business basis. So, I am so clear at this point that in order for us to really create and sustain business in a way that feeds us long term, we have to start small. We have to start with the foundations. And the foundations, like I said, are relevant at all levels of business. Why? Because you're only as strong as your foundations. You're only as strong as the body that you're living in. You can only carry as much weight as you have trained your body to carry. Okay? So, this simple practice, daily steps, really trains consistency. It really trains long-term thinking. And it also gives you the space and time for you to work out all of the stuff that's going on in your body so that you can get clear. And this is not something where you just go on one walk one time and you see these results. I'm speaking to an experience that I've had in keeping a daily walking practice for over a year and a half now. And this has the power to deeply shift things in a big, big way, but literally one step at a time. A lot of people ask me well, how are you doing what you're doing right now? Or how have you done these big, scary things? And it's just one step at a time. How did you go travel abroad in Thailand by yourself at 24 years old? I went one step at a time. How did you leave your job and do that brave thing and step into entrepreneurship? I did it one step at a time. How did you go through bankruptcy and deal with all of that and go through all of the financial businessy things that go with business, all the paperwork stuff that comes with all of this business stuff? You do it one step at a time. One step at a time. All of life is literally one step at a time, while staying connected to the bigger vision. Okay? So I go one step at a time, but I'm clear of the direction that I'm going in. But every single day, I start every morning with 0 steps. And my goal every single day is to get to 8,000 to 10,000 steps. How do I get there? I do it one step at a time. One step at a time. And the space that we give ourselves to, go on a walk, this doesn't mean how am I supposed to do this with everything else that I'm doing? My proposition for you is you don't need to do all the other stuff that you're doing. You just need to go on a walk. And you can take me up on that or not, but I'm of the mind that you can literally just go on a walk. You can just get your daily steps in. You don't need to push yourself to still go to the gym every day. You don't need to push yourself to meditate for 5 hours. Like, the walk is the meditation. Walking as meditation. But the meditation is not so focused on finishing the meditation. It's more so of like, how am I meeting myself every step of the way? How am I really showing up in integrity every step of the way? It's deeply, deeply profound. I know it's very simple, but that's part of why it's so profound. Okay? So if you want to build the strength that's required to create big things in your life, to manifest and hold what it is that you manifest, you have to do it one step at a time. Like, you don't just wake up one morning and then decide, I'm going to have $1 million business, and poof, it's here. Like, $1 million business is built $1 at a time. You know, can we appreciate the tiny little increments of movement toward the goal versus being so obsessed with the goal? Because when you're so obsessed with the goal, I'm going to tell you what happens. You burn out. You lose your energy, worried about stuff that is irrelevant. Because all you really need to worry about is the step that I'm on right now, and then the next step that I need to take toward what it is that I need to do. So this experience is truly a multifaceted experience, but it also can be so, so simple. So I want to share some of my, I have slides because I wanted to be sure that we're all on the same page. I want to share those slides so that we can all get clear of where we're going. And I want to normalize too, like, share your intention. People who are out here like creating programs, experiences, like, share your intention with people. And I think that can be a really powerful way to like call people in. Like, let's normalize sharing our intention. So the intention of walking with awareness, I already spoke to it. I gave you some context, but just to boil it down, this is an applied experience of simple movement and sustainable consistency. So something that I see a lot of people do when they're like, I'm gonna start this routine, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna make it happen. They go super, super hard, and then they burn themselves out. And then it's like periods of like going really, really hard mixed with periods of doing absolutely nothing, versus, can I just slowly kind of pace myself day after day so that I have long periods of making little bits of progress versus going all in and then like taking most of those steps back. You know, that there's a saying, it's like 10 steps forward, 8 steps back. That's what I see a lot of people doing, because there's this like rush, and then there's a pull back completely, and then like rush, get back into it, and then like pull back completely. So through this experience, I want you to actually have an applied, lived experience of sustainable consistency. When you count your steps every single day, and then you start to see them adding up week over week. And then you see, wow, like, that's how many steps I walk in a month. It gives you an idea of like that monthly goal or like that weekly goal that was built step by step, day by day. Like, everything builds on top of one another. So I have to get myself in a position as I lead myself where I can allow things to build on top of themselves, versus go all the way in and then go all the way out. And it's almost just like, it's almost this pattern of like, well, that didn't work, so I'm just going to burn it all down, versus, well, what in that did work? And how can I take what I do know works and still continue to build on that? You're going to get that from this experience. Expression as integration. So part of the experience is me encouraging you to share. I have a private Facebook group where you'll be welcome to share if you would like to share. And I really want you to, at the very least though, like, have your own experience of expressing like what you're moving through. So if you want to journal, if you want to voice note to yourself while you're on the walk, but like give yourself time and space to like process the experience of walking. You can do that in the group. You can share with the group. I'd love for you to do that. I think that would be a really great idea, especially if you're someone who's like, I want to have a business, I want to have a brand. Like, wow, Jules, you're doing really cool. Like, being able to go live and do all of that. That requires you to understand that your expression is part of your integration. Sitting there reflecting, kind of making sense of what you've moved through in your experience, like that's such an important part. And that's how you integrate what you know, instead of just continuing to learn more stuff. So you can either share in your own space, and I'll be sharing prompts with you as you're walking each day, or you can share also in the group, and you will be rewarded for sharing in the group, because you get rewarded for showing up. This is not going to be a challenge where it's about how many steps you walk, but I do create my containers in a way where I reward people for showing up, because you do have to show up. Like, you do have to figure it out. You do have to make it work. You have to allow it to not be perfect, but you have to show up. Especially if you're on the trajectory of entrepreneurship, want to create your own life, want to make more money than anyone in your family has ever made. Like, this is a part of it. You have to be able to stop, reflect, express, whether within your own space or with others. And ideally with others, because the intention also here is that all of you who do participate connect with one another. You deepen your wisdom through the art of storytelling, through micro storytelling even. I walked this many steps today. This feeling was coming through. I found that interesting. That can be as simple as your share, or what you share and what you bring forward. And can you trust that that's enough? Can you trust that other people can glean wisdom from that? Because they can. It's not about what you say. It's about who you are when you say it. So this is a great opportunity for you to really have a lived experience in your body, to hold yourself in a container of really reflecting on that experience, and then coming into a space and sharing and connecting and allowing that expression of your wisdom to just be what it is and not need it to be performative in any way. So that's the intention of Walking with Awareness. I want to bring up another piece of this here, and this is, how will it work? How will it work? So we're going to start tracking our steps on June 1st. You can use your phone to track your steps, but there's going to be steps that you don't track because maybe you don't always have your phone on you. I really do suggest buying a watch. This is a Garmin. You can go on Marketplace. You can go on Facebook. Damn, you can even go on Temu nowadays and get a steps counter. It doesn't need to be complicated, but I do think some sort of a watch, or like if you want to get a ring or something like that, I think that that's what's best. Just something that you're wearing like all the time that you don't take off, because that's going to help you to get a really accurate read on how many steps you're doing. But we're going to start tracking our steps as a group on June 1st. And then every week I'm going to share inside of the group, and I'm going to ask all of you to share your steps totals. So once a week, everyone will share their total steps from the week. And that will help me to assign the number of raffle entries. So depending on how many steps you get, it will depend on how many raffle entries you get per week. So each weekly check-in, you can share your steps and get raffle entries. If you don't check in that week, then you don't get raffle entries. Okay? You can also get raffle entries by sharing what you're noticing and what you're gaining from the practice inside of the group. So throughout the month, you'll have the opportunity to share, and I'll also be giving you raffle bonus entries for sharing inside of the group. So that's another way for you to participate as well. And I'm going to host the raffle for the winner on July 2nd. Okay. So there is a prize. There's a grand prize. I'm going to share with you what the grand prize is next. Let me open this next slide. I love that I made these slides. The grand prize winner will win a 1-to-1 in-focus session with me, Jules. And this session includes a month of follow-up support for us to integrate what came up for you during that session. So an in-focus session, it's basically like a let's figure it out session. Like, let's lay it all out on the table. Like, what's going on here? What is it that you're trying to bring forward? How is it that you want to feel? I really like to focus on who it is that you need to be, in order to create the outcome you're looking to create. But there is some tactical, this is things that you genuinely need to do that will come forward on this session as well. These sessions alone are $555. So if you join and you participate for $33, you could potentially win a session for $555. That's amazing. And I feel really, really aligned with offering this to all of you. I know that there are many of you who would really benefit from really just sitting down with me. These sessions are an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, just depending on how much time that we need. But I'm there with you after the fact to support you in integrating and to help you with your next steps as well. So that's a really amazing prize. And I mean, you could participate bare minimum. Like I said, you could join in some of the last days and you could still be the winner here. So every week you gain entries into the raffle dependent on how many steps you walk, but also dependent on how many times you've shared in the group. And then if you have the most number of raffle entries, you're more likely to win. But it might not work out that way, but you have more chances to win. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So that's what the grand prize is. Let me see, what else can I share with you here? So, let me share with you about the well. So because in order for you to do the walking challenge with me, to do walking with awareness with me, you need to join the well. The well is my lowest tier membership. It's $33 a month. And you could literally just join for the month of June. That's not going to hurt my feelings if you want to leave later. But you could join for 1 month, even if you want. It's $33 a month. And the intention of the well is to support you in opening yourself up to receive all that life has to offer. There are so many tools inside of this space. This is just one of the experiences that I'm offering to the members of this space. But there are already tons and tons of tools inside of this space. There's over 250 recorded pieces of content. Plus there's a vision quest experience, prompts for you to go through so that you can clarify your vision. The well is really meant to be the place where you learn how to manage your energetic state and process your emotions and process your life, really, because that's how you create space for all of who you are. That's how you also move things out of the way so you can continue to move yourself forward. You have to process your life. You have to reflect on your life. You have to use the tools that are available to you for you to be able to move through what is moving through you. So this is a space for you to come to so that you can deepen your relationship to yourself and so that you can cultivate the energy that you need to go after whatever it is that you desire. And your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your inner knowing, it's invaluable. It's absolutely invaluable. So if you join us inside of the well, it's not just getting access to this experience, but you'll also get access to a lot of the other things that I've already recorded, I've already put form to. And let me share with you exactly what's included inside of the well, just so that you have an idea. A 5-part breathwork series for beginners. That is something that anybody can get access to. It's actually a complimentary gift that I give away. So if you want access to the 5-part breathwork series for beginners, you can just comment on this video breathwork and I'll send you the information so that you can register for that. But that's also included inside of the well. We have 40 days of breath. It's an introduction to Kundalini yoga. We have the divine activation, 40 days of Gyan Chakra Kriya, which is a Kriya for prosperity and really strengthening yourself through difficult things. The victory frequency is 40 days of the victory Kriya, one of my favorites. I really like that one. And then we have the prosperity portal. That's 40 days of Hust Kriya. Super, super good. And then I have a collection of 30-minute meditations for beginners. I have a collection of restorative and functional flow yoga classes. There's also a collection of subconscious reprogramming practices inside of the well. Those are great. I want to bring more of those forward, but those are such a good practice, and all of the different subconscious reprogramming recordings that I already have are relevant. They're generally relevant. So there's one of like, I think there's one of like, I am worthy of telling my story, or I'm worthy of wealth, is another one. So relevant to you wherever you are. We also have the Vision Quest, 44 days of clarifying your vision. There's one prompt for every day. And then inside of the Well, you also get monthly live community connection event, which is a wisdom circle. It's a private community circle where you can come, share, express. It's not recorded. We do them every full moon. Most of them are hosted by me. Sometimes they're hosted by other members of the community, but I make sure that those happen every single month. So you have an opportunity to come together, to share, to express, to meet one another without any sort of pretense or anything kind of standing in the way of just an authentic connection. So those are also a part of your membership to the Well. And there's also a monthly live Q&A opportunity. And the monthly live Q&A opportunity, there's a thread inside of the group where you can ask me anything as it relates to your relationship with yourself, building better habits in your life, your daily practice and how that is going. Anything that's already covered inside of the Well, anything that's those topics is fair game. Just anything business related or relationship related, I would bring that into one of my higher tier memberships, either life school together, one-to-one. This is not necessarily the space for that. But still, like, anybody asks me a question, I'm there pretty much immediately. Sometimes I do a video for them. Sometimes I'll just like kind of record myself. So you can ask as many questions as you'd like to ask. You can get as much support as you'd like, and that's also available to you. $33 a month. I mean, like, I'm not trying to convince you with the price. I know that it's not about that. I have people paying me that still don't show up to stuff, so it's not necessarily about the pricing, but it's not a huge investment. And there's a lot in here, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. And there's new content and new group challenges that are added regularly. So once a quarter, I will host an experience inside of the Well. And I also am trying to get guest teachers and people to bring different experiences, different modalities inside of our space as well. But for sure, once a quarter, there's something new that's added to the Well. So walking with awareness is what's happening this quarter. And it's not just walking with awareness, by the way. Of course, I added like a 5-part audio series on the foundations of awareness so that you can understand what awareness even is and why it's relevant anyway. But I absolutely love to pour into this space. There's so much here, and this is really a space for you to practice self-leadership as well. Like, you get what you put into it ultimately at the end of the day. So let me see here. Is there anything else that I want to share? No, that's it. I'm just going to come back to the intention here. So if you want to join us for Walking with Awareness, I would love to see you be a part of it. If you're looking for a way to really feel and build sustainable consistency in your body so that then plays out in the life that you're living, this is a great practice, a great place to start. If you're looking to open up your channels of expression, of reflection, communication with yourself and with others, this is a great place to start and to support you in that. And if you're just in general looking to connect with other people, hear about their experiences, kind of give yourself an opportunity to not need to perform as a way to create connection, but really just to meet people as in their peopleness, in their humanness. This is also an opportunity for you to do that as well. And I hope to see all of you sharing inside of the group at least once a week when I hear how many steps you did, but more often than that too, because sometimes we just need a little bit of a practice ground. I know a lot of you want to get on social media and do this thing that you see me doing, but like sometimes, we have to allow ourselves to kind of work it out in a safe space before we then come into the real world with it. And I know that I had opportunity where I was able to work out a lot of my own expression with others like in a like kind of closed container. So I want to bring that here for you as well. And you're also welcome to share about your walking challenge publicly with everyone and not need to bring it into the group, and then just tag me in that, and I'll give you entries from that too as well, whatever level you're ready for. But it's so important that you process your experience. So that's why I reward expression, and I reward people showing up and sharing with one another, because it's a gift to you to be able to process and share your experience, and to receive others, to witness and be witnessed. And I really want to stand in that truth and that knowing. So that is what I have to share with you today. I hope that this met you in the time and space that you're ready to receive it. And those of you who are participating in the walking challenge, I cannot wait to start. You don't even know, like, I'm so excited to walk steps with all of you. Last year we walked, I think, 2 million steps as a group, and I think that there was like 7 people or so that participated. I think we're gonna have more people participating this year, but we'll see. I'm not attached to it at all. But I would really love to see us walk like 5 to 6 to 7 million steps as a group. But I'm not attached truly to the outcome. I think it will be beautiful, whatever progress we make collectively and individually. And this is an experience that I'm hosting. I'm constantly sharing. I'm constantly pouring into my spaces. I'm constantly showing up to my work. Some of you just don't see it as much as others of you do. So I hope that this helped me to kind of bridge the gap between those of you who are not already enrolled in the community spaces or maybe thinking about it, and those of you who are, just so that you know what's coming next and how it's going to go and all the things. Okay, so that's what I have to share with you. If you have any questions, send me a message. I'm happy to receive it. If you want that five part beginners breathwork for beginners series, you can comment breathwork below. And if you want to join the well, it's just julescastellano.com/the-well. There's also the link in my bio, and if you for some reason can't find it, just send me a message. You should also be able to Google Jules Castellano the well, and it should come up from that too. All right, so we'll see you very, very soon. Hope to see you walking with me, stepping with me. If not, I hope that at least this has inspired you to get out and move and create some sort of consistency for yourself, because that is really the key when it comes to birthing big things, but also being able to hold big things. All right. Okay. Peace, everyone. Satnam.